Live at 9 is honoring Black history throughout the month of February and spotlighting those continuing to make a difference. Today, Memphis-based Inasa Troutman is a writer, producer, real estate developer, and she is joining us this morning to talk about her role as the CEO and founder of The Big We. You've done so much. I mean, Claiborne Temple. Okay, so like first of all, what is The Big We?
Okay, well, The Big We is really my life's work, honestly. It's an organization I built starting about 10 years ago, and we really work with communities to really unearth and leverage their cultural assets for their own growth, power, abundance, narrative work. We just really believe that all of us have things that we have innately that we can bring forth to be able to help our lives be better.
Oh my goodness, it's those gifts we each have. Every single person has a gift.
That's right.
Or more. Tell me about the Claiborne Temple and its connection to all of us and the historic.
Claiborne Temple really is what brought me to Memphis. I came to Memphis to really tell the story of that building and then never left because I fell in love with so many of the stories that this city is holding.
Same.
And Claiborne Temple is really most known for being the headquarters of the sanitation worker strike of 1968, which was the strike that brought Dr. King to Memphis when he was assassinated. And it is so exciting for me to be here today because today is the anniversary of the first day of the strike. And every year for the last this is our 8th year doing this, the Big We and Claiborne Temple come together to do a whole 2 months of programming during the whole entire strike to be able to remember the work that those men and those families did and to remind us of the work that we can do now together as a community.
Talk about the history of the sanitation workers.
Of course. Well, the sanitation workers here in Memphis in 1968, honestly, they had tried for some time to build a union because at the time, Black sanitation workers were making a very low wage. They were not safe in their jobs. They didn't have the things that they needed to do a good job and to live a good life.
The garbage was spilling on them. It wasn't
garbage
just
juice
coming
everywhere
on their bodies.
One of the stories I heard when I was doing research for the show was one of the daughters of a sanitation worker telling me how when her father came home after work, her mother would make him stand outside on the back porch and she would hose him down with a hose because they didn't have showers or uniforms. They didn't have like proper materials to hold the trash. So they would carry the trash and it would be just trash falling all over them. So when they came home, they couldn't even come in the house without wrecking everything up.
And they had to sit with the trash as they walked along.
They did. They were not allowed in the cab. The Black workers were not allowed in the cab of the truck. They had to sit in the back of the truck or walk on the side of the truck, which is really how the strike started, because one day when it was raining, there were 2 workers who decided to get shelter in the back of the truck, and the truck malfunctioned and both of them were crushed to death in the back of a garbage truck. And the workers were like, at this point, our lives are on the line. We're not going to do this anymore. So we are going to have a work stoppage and have a conversation about our dignity, our wage, our safety, our families, and the way we want to live in community.
And that was the origination of I Am a Man. So
That's right.
I'm a human being.
Yes.
I am a man. Why are you treating me
That's
like
right.
trash?
One of the things that I love to tell people is that the person who came up with the I Am a Man slogan is actually a woman. Her name was Cornelia Crenshaw, and she was an activist in South Memphis. She was really best known for the work she did at MLG&W. So the reason why you can have partial pay at MLG&W if you can't afford your light bill is because of the work of Cornelia Crenshaw. And she was close friends with Reverend Lawson, close friends with Dr. King, and was the person who came up with the idea after reading a poem that I Am a Man should be the slogan for the sanitation worker strike.
What is in this place and how can the community get involved? Oh, you just got...
I'm so excited about it because it's really one of the first things that we created after I moved here. In this place is really a way for us to bring the city together. And this year our theme is Imagine Memphis, which I am so excited about because I think that Memphis, you said it earlier on the broadcast today, Memphis is in a really wonderful space. We have so much possibility and we just want to bring the city together to come together and reimagine who we could be as a community in the city. And so we'll be having a few film screenings, a film that we did last year and another film called The Work that talks about the future of public safety. We'll be having my favorite event, which is a community sing. So we'll be bringing the whole city together, no matter whether you think you're a singer or not, to come and learn a song and sing together and understand the power of making art together and have some really juicy conversations. We'll be debuting a new body of work called The Welcome Table that is really designed to bring folks across difference together to have really difficult conversations, and it's such a beautiful process. I'm really excited about that. And we'll have some tours of Claiborne and some storytelling so people can come in the building, see our brand new stained glass
Take your
windows,
selfies.
understand the restoration process of the building, and to be able to hear all these incredible stories from these incredible Memphians who really changed the world.
As we wrap up here, you know, currently the sanitation workers still have no pension, so
That's
they have to
right.
work until they're 90. Dr. King's dream, some say, has never been met. So
Yes.
what's it going to take? Is it this?
That is literally the reason why I stayed in Memphis, because learning all these histories and then understanding, oh, the thing they were working for never actually happened. And the story goes all the way from Robert Church to the sanitation workers, Ida B. Wells, all the way to modern day. And in order for us to actually be able to have a city where we can all live in safety, joy, love, and abundance, we have to understand how to have conversations with each other and how to learn how to love each other through interactions, through public policy, through funding, through access to capital, right? All those things are really important in how we have material conditions that work for all of us.
Anasa Troutman, everybody. Thank you so much for what you're
having me.
doing.
Thank you so much.
Same tone, everything. Congratulations on
Thank
what
you.
you've done in
Thank
this
you.